10 interesting facts about the Eiffel Tower.
In the past, the Eiffel Tower was yellow. Trends in chic Paris. The Iron Lady has modified her appearance throughout the years by using a variety of paint colors. The Eiffel Tower's original hue was a reddish brown. It was unveiled in 1889. It was painted yellow 10 years later, before the present, specifically mixed Eiffel Tower brown was adopted in 1968. The tower was also yellow, brown and chestnut brown in color. To keep the tower appearing fresh, 60 tons of paint are applied every 7 years. To enhance the tower's silhouette against the backdrop of the Parisian sky, it is painted in 3 colors that get lighter as it rises. It was constructed in honor of the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. The Exposition Universelle in 1889, which celebrated the 100th anniversary of the fall of the Bastille and the beginning of the French Revolution, held an open design competition to choose a stunning centerpiece for the event. They chose the design offered by Eiffel, along with Stephen Silvestre, an architect, and Maurice Coechlin and Émile Noguier, engineers, out of 107 submissions. It occupied the title of tallest building for 4 decades. At 986 feet, the Eiffel Tower opened in 1889, nearly twice as tall as the 555-foot Washington Monument, the previous tallest building in the world. It wouldn't be surpassed until the 1930 opening of New York's 1046-foot Chrysler Building. Even after the Chrysler Building's antenna was added in 1957, the Eiffel Tower still lagged behind the Empire State Building, another Gotham skyscraper, in terms of height. The Eiffel Tower used to be the biggest billboard in the world. Between 1925 and 1936, 250,000 colorful lights mounted on 3 of the tower's steeples lighted at dusk to form the 100-foot-tall initials of the French automaker Citroën. When Charles Lindbergh landed in Paris on his solo transatlantic trip in 1927, he used the advertisement as a beacon since it was so bright that it could be seen from about 20 miles away. A notable landmark that was partially created by Gustave Eiffel. The Statue of Liberty's internal design was originally created by a French sculptor named Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, who passed away unexpectedly in 1879. Bartholdi's replacement was Gustave Eiffel. Eiffel created the skeleton support structure to which the copper skin of the statue is attached. He was already well known for his work as a structural engineer and railway bridge designer. Parisian artists signed a petition opposing the monstrous building. Although the Eiffel Tower is now a universal symbol of affection, 300 eminent Parisian artists and intellectuals signed the manifesto below on Valentine's Day in 1887, which was published in the Le Temps newspaper. It read, "We, writers, painters, sculptors, architects, passionate lovers of the beauty, until now intact, of Paris hereby protest with all our might, with all our indignation, in the name of French taste gone." The rant further claimed that even commercial-minded America does not want the gigantic black factory chimney because it is so abhorrent.
Radio prevented the destruction of the Eiffel Tower. Since Eiffel footed 80% of the tower's construction costs, he was permitted to have the structure stand for 20 years in order to recoup his investment before it passed into the hands of the Parisian government, which planned to disassemble it for scrap metal. Seeking a way to prove the structure's strategic utility in a bid to save it, Eiffel erected an antenna atop the tower and financed experiments with wireless telegraphy that began in 1898. The value of the tower in sending and receiving wireless messages, particularly for the French military, caused the city to renew Eiffel's concession when it expired in 1909. Today, more than 100 antennae on the tower beam radio and television broadcasts around the world. The Eiffel Tower played a role in Mata Hari's capture. The radio station on the tower was used by the French military to decipher German enemy communications during World War I. After learning in secret that the German army was stopping its advance during the Battle of the Marne in 1914, the French were able to plan a counterattack. 3 years later, the station atop the Eiffel Tower uncovered information regarding Operation H21 in a coded transmission sent between Germany and Spain. The famed spy Mata Hari was detained, found guilty, and hanged by the French for spying for Germany in part because of this communication. There was a science lab in the tower. In the tower's first-level gallery, Eiffel inscribed the names of 72 French scientists. On top of the building, he built a laboratory that he and other scientists used to study astronomy, meteorology, aerodynamics, and physiology and run experiments like Foucault's pendulum. At the base of the tower, Eiffel built an aerodynamic wind tunnel that was used for many tests, including those on Porsche cars and Wright brothers airplanes. Attempting aerial feats at the tower, daredevils have lost their lives. Adventurers have used the tower to perform risky acts for decades, using anything from parachutes to bungee ropes. However, not all thrill-seekers have defied death. Franz Reichelt, a French tailor, tried to use a spring-loaded parachute suit to fly from the tower's first floor in 1912, but instead plunged 187 feet to the earth. In an effort to fly beneath the tower's reach 14 years later, pilot Léon Caillou was killed when his aircraft became caught in the radio station aerial and crashed in a ball of flame.